everybody. Welcome to Instagram Live with Janome Canada. We're so excited to be here. Now that I have my headphones on, I will look at y'all. Sorry, that was some Texas coming out. I have no idea. So we're really excited that you're here today. And today is the start of Zipper Week on Instagram with Janome Canada. So we're super excited. We've got 4 different zipper techniques coming for you. Good morning. So I can see all your comments on the bottom. So by all means, ask questions or comment on there. That would be totally awesome. So I've got 2 completed examples of welted pockets for zippers to show you. And so this is the first one. This is the zipper on a honeysuckle hobo, which is a pattern by Blue Cala Patterns. And if we look at it up close, we can see that it's completely finished on the inside and on the edge. And it's just a wonderful way to put in a zipper. And then we also have it here on the end of the bag, showing the top stitching on the vinyl. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the machine. And if I could just do a quick sound check, if somebody can just let me know if you can hear me okay. I've got headphones on today, so hopefully the sound will be good. So we're just going to come over here to the sewing machine. I'm sewing on a Continental M7 today. And so I wanted to show you first of all how a welt pocket starts. Oh, great. Thank you, Anne Margaret. So a welt pocket starts with some interfacing on the back side of your pocket. And so when you are drawing or marking where your placement is going to be, you want to draw 2 parallel lines that are a 1/2 inch apart. And then the center line goes in the middle, so a 1/4 inch from the edges, and stops at a 1/4 inch from the end. And then you draw 2 diagonal cutting lines. So that's what it looks like to start out. So then this piece goes right sides together on the outside of your pocket. And then you sew around on your outside seam, on your outside line there. So I've almost sewn this one, but I wanted to show you about the automatic presser foot lift on the M7. And so I'm just going to start sewing here. And I'm going to sew right to the corner and stop. And you see how that foot lifts up? That is so that you can easily swivel or reposition your fabric for sewing. Oh, thank you, Trina. So now I'm just going to finish this off, and I'm going to sew to the other corner and turn again. And I think I want to do just one more little positioning here so that I get more on the line. And so then I'm going to sew here to this point. See, at this point you can either do a back stitch, which goes back 3 or 4 stitches, or you can do a locking stitch. So I'm going to cut my threads, and I'm going to show you how you can turn this pocket out. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut along this line here and right into the corner, but being careful not to cut the stitching. So I'm going to start with my seam ripper and poke a hole in there and just cut it just a little bit so that I can get my scissors in there. And then I'm going to use my scissors to cut as best I can on that line, just right till where my corner lines come. And then I'm going to cut into the corner and being careful not to hit that stitching. So right like that, and then on the other side. And that one can go a little bit further, and then I will turn this and continue cutting my pocket open. So if you've just joined us, we are doing Welt zipper pockets today. And so this is how you do them. So this technique is really great for adding a pocket to something that is already finished, or for putting on the inside of a purse, because the other thing I'm going to show you is how you can actually turn a bag right side out with this kind of pocket. So now that it's cut, I'm going to flip my lining to the back. And bring my corners together up here. And that's just so that I can see where I am and keep my ends together, because I was just using some scrap pieces, so sometimes they don't necessarily play nice. So I'm gonna keep on turning. So I will flip the camera so that you can see this process a little bit better. So I'm turning my lining, which was initially attached on the outside of my fabric. I am flipping it and putting it on the inside, on the bottom. And I'm just pinning my corners here so that I can see how it looks. So this is what you want to end up with after you've sewn it. And of course, you're going to go over and press it. But I have one that is already pressed. So we will just move on forward like that. I feel like Martha Stewart having it already. You know how Martha Stewart, when she bakes cupcakes, she makes the batter and she mixes it up and puts it in the oven. And then like 2 minutes later, she's got amazing cupcakes. So I kind of feel like Martha Stewart today. So I'm going to flip back here to the machine and I'm going to show you my pocket that is already sewn. So this has been pressed, and I've actually attached the zipper underneath the opening with some fabric glue. And I like to use fabric glue because it puts your zipper in the perfect position. You can actually apply the glue to your zipper tape and then place your fabric on top so that it gets just in the right exact spot. So I'm going to top stitch around my welt pocket here, and I'm just going to stick a pin in the end because I didn't glue all the way. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them as we go. I would love to answer any questions you have about the M7 or about the technique that I'm showing you today. So on the M7, I have the HP foot and plate installed on the machine. And this is great because it actually gets you a really good 1/4 inch, which is awesome. And I also really love this foot for top stitching. If you see right here, the narrow side of the foot actually fits in the space between the zipper teeth and the edge of my fabric. So I'm going to use this to line up with for my top stitching. And I'm going to increase my stitch length to 3. And away we go. So, oh, and I've lost my thread, which I'm sure always happens to everybody else and me, especially when I'm live. So I'm not using the HP2 foot at this time, although when you're working with lots of layers, it's definitely a good choice to use. So I'm going to start sewing here, and I'm going to go one step further and see how that pivot function really comes in handy, because I can just pivot all the way around on the edge here. So I'm going to sew right over those zipper teeth. Don't be afraid of those. They are nylon teeth, so they're not going to hurt or break your needle or anything. And I'm going to go around that corner, and we're going to continue stitching. So I'll move the zipper pull so I don't run into it, and keep going. So that pivot function on this machine is fabulous for doing this kind of thing. And I actually don't want to stop there. I want to stop more here. So I'll just turn that by hand, and then we'll keep going around the corner. one more stitch, and then, and so this has to move out of the way again. So because I'm turning this into a little zipper pouch, instead of doing a back stitch, I'm going to do a lock stitch. So what that does is it stitches in place 4 to 5 stitches and locks the fabric. And so then when you hit the scissors, it will pull the tails of the thread to the back, which you won't see on the inside. So this is our little zipper pouch. And so now what I'm going to do is we'll flip so that you can see this a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate my lining from my front piece. Now this is how it looks like on the inside. So I'm just going to let this lining piece dangle. And I'm going to match up these corners. And going to sew around this side of the pocket here. So back to the machine. So I'm going to do it from the lining side up. This is so that I can just move the lining out of the way. So we'll start over here on this side. And I'll put my stitches back to 2.5. And I'm going to back stitch. And so I'm going to continue moving this out of the way, and I'm going to sew all the way around. And pivot, and I'm going to, we need one more stitch there. And before I forget, I want to open the zipper. Always something that I forget when I'm sewing bags. It's very important to open the zipper. Okay, and one more stitch. And now on this side, we'll sew that 1/4 inch seam all the way down. And I'm going to cut the thread. Okay, so our outside exterior of the pocket is sewn. And so now I need to sew the lining. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave this top edge open, and I'm only going to sew on the sides. So I want to show you something neat. So if you notice here, this is a 1/4 inch shorter than the outside. And so that's going to get closed when you top stitch after you've turned it. So I'm going to match my corners here, and I'm just going to sew on the sides of this little zipper pouch lining. So as we're all coping with orders to stay at home and that kind of thing, many of our dealers in Canada are still open and doing curbside pickup. So if you are running out of any supplies, or if you want to try a new foot, or even if you want to buy a new machine during this time, please don't hesitate to contact your local dealer. And also in Canada, we are drop shipping machines directly to consumers. And you can find our dealer list on the janome.ca website under Find a Dealer. So I've got my 2 sides pinned here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to sew on either side. Quick back stitch. Oh, you're welcome, Liz. I'm so excited to be doing these Instagram lives. It's really quite fun. Okay, so we're just gonna keep on going here. All right, so our last step is to turn our little zippery pouch open, turn it right side out, which is really easy once you have that lining open there. And of course, with your zipper open. And I have this little tool. I'm sure lots of our Canadian dealers have them. It's called a purple thang. I cannot live without this tool. This is the second one. I think my first one, I may have bitten off the end of it because sometimes when I'm sewing, I used to hold pins in my mouth, which as we know is really dangerous. So I started holding my purple thang in my mouth, and yeah, I needed a new one. So does anybody have any questions about our little zipper pouch and inserting a welt pocket, or any questions about the M7 or anything like that? I would love to answer some questions before I sign off. So here is our cute little pouch, and just gonna keep poking out these corners. Okay, so if you remember when we initially sewn our little pouch, we left the top open of the lining, so it's up here. So I'm just going to poke out this little corner one more time, get it nice and crisp. And so there's our cute little pouch. The HP foot, yes, it is available for other machines. It's available on the 6700. It's available for the 15,000, for the 9450. And it most likely came with those machines, but if it didn't, you can for sure get it from your dealer. And there's also the HP 2 walking foot. Oh, and this corner is not, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my thread. So here's our cute little zipper pouch. So thank you so much for watching us today. We are so happy that you are watching us on social media. As I said before, this week is zipper week. So we have lots of zipper techniques coming for you. We will be going live on Instagram today, of course, right now, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we will also be posting our videos to our new YouTube channel. So Galem157 has a question. Can you list all the live segments you will be doing this week? Yes. So today was a welt zipper. Tomorrow we are doing attaching a zipper with created stitches on top of something. And then Liz is coming on Thursday, and she's going to show doing zipper tabs. And then I'll be back on Friday showing you how to get a crisp corner. So we will be live on Instagram at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time each day this week. And then next week, we're going to be starting every other day so that we can create lots of awesome content for you guys. So you can also follow us on our blog, which is www.genomilife.wordpress.com, or on Instagram here at Genome Canada, or also on our new YouTube channel, which is called Genome Life. And we've got links to all of that from the blog. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad I was able to answer a question for you today. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to post a short little video to the Instagram channel in a few minutes of using the HP 2 foot to do the top stitching on this little bag. So have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to wash your hands, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Okay, so this is the HP 2 foot. It comes on its own ankle, and it has a hook that attaches into the back of the machine. So the sole plate is the same as the regular HP foot, which is right here. And so that's the difference between them. There really is no difference, although this one seems to have a little bit more of a protective coating on it to help it slide easier. So to install this to the machine, it goes through the, it hooks onto the needle bar here and screws in. And then this little, if I can get the camera to show, that little thing hooks into the back. Now that the HP2 foot is on the machine, it's time to tell the machine that we're using the HP2 foot. So I'm going to press this button right here, which engages the extra motor that the AccuFeed Flex Plus system has to help get smoother stitches with using the AccuFeed. So now it says right here that I'm using the HP2. So this button here is that automatic presser foot lift that's turned on, and then also these ones are grayed out because they are not available with the HP2 foot. Okay, so we're ready to sew or do our top stitching with the HP2 foot, and I've increased my stitches to a 3, and you can see how it is advancing the fabric with that extra little foot there on the inside right here. So if you watch right here. And again, that pivot feature, the automatic presser foot feature is awesome.